Okay, y'all, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna do a college update because the last video or two after college, the college videos, like my moving and stuff, I haven't really touched base on college and how I feel about it and just the update in general. So I'm gonna do that. So let's get into this video. I know you got me falling from the ceiling for you. And you went from the start, there was no limit to you. And I'm catching feelings, baby. Okay, so basically, I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just 6 questions of like basically questions that I'm always asked. Like I have a spam page, and then even on my main Instagram, like these are the questions that are always continuously asked about college. And like that goes just for underclassmen that haven't yet got to college or about to go right now, like the up and coming year. So I felt like 6 questions were enough because, you know, once you get to talking, it make the video long enough. So the first basic question: what school do I go to? I go to Fisk University. Bulldog. But no, I go to Fisk University. It's located in Nashville, Tennessee, 5 minutes away from TSU, the real TSU. But no, like, yeah, so that's where I go. How do I feel about school? Well, the school that I'm at, and what do I like about it, and what do I dislike about it? So overall, I feel good about school, like in general. Like I'm not gonna say just this school. I feel good about school. Like I feel like it's not like high school, because I mean, like, it's like at a slower pace to me. Like you're not consistently in class by, you know, whatever time in the morning all the way into the afternoon. Like you have a class, usually lasts for an hour or two, depending on, like, you know, what class you're in, and that's it. But I feel like load wise it's different, because in high school it was like you thought work was hard, but you don't realize how fast the pace is in college and what they expect you to already know. So you're doing a lot of learning behind closed doors before you go to class, because you got to put in the study, you got to put in the focus to know what you need to know, because they're not going to backtrack for you. Like they feel like these are things that you should already know. So college takes a lot of, I don't know, like maturity. Like I don't want to say that, but it does. Like college matures you. It makes you realize that you got to do a lot of stuff on your own. Like, so yeah, that's how I feel about school. But I do love school. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like besides the fact of the school that I'm at, like I'm gonna get into that. I love school. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like it's fun. As far as like knowing that the things that I'm doing right now is gonna lead me to the future that I want to be at. So it's fun. I like it a lot. And I feel like the major that I'm in, I feel like I really enjoy it. Like it's not, because I'm not really like a math girl. Like I don't really like all of that stuff. And the major that I was gonna have originally before I even entered college was a lot of math, which is architecture. And I just knew eventually, the older you get, the more you have to realize that certain majors may look good to you money wise, or they might have like a little thing in there that you may be good at. Like for instance, mine was art and design, but art and design isn't everything in architecture. Like, you know, you have to be smart with your math and stuff, and if you're not, your building's gonna like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or your landscape is gonna look like a ditch. Like it's just not gonna give. So basically all I'm saying is, like, you know, I enjoy the major that I'm in. Like I feel like it's not too hardcore, but I still feel like I can make a big difference with it. You know, the money will come. Like, you know, that's not my main focus, but I know that I won't be broke. Like my major will still help provide the lifestyle that I want to live if I work hard enough to get to where I want to be. So that's the school. Like I feel like school is fun. Like I said, when you think about the overall picture, like, and you're just doing your work, like I've gotten to the point now where like my procrastination with work has never been bad. Like let me say that my procrastination has never been bad. Like I've always been that one friend that would be like, y'all need to do y'all work, like, because y'all not going to do it later. Like So I've always been good with getting my work out the way. But now, like in college, I genuinely get my work out the way. Like I will have 2 classes, come up to my dorm, instead of taking a nap, I'll finish all my Spanish, and I'll be like, Jerron, I'll call you back later. Like, Spanish is an easy class, so why not just get it out the way? Like, you know, stuff like that. So it's like, you know, you don't realize, like, it may be easy. Like, you're in your undergrad, classes may be easy, stuff like that. But it's like, while it's easy, do what you need to do to get the grade that you need to get. Because once you start getting to the end of your sophomore year, junior year, and above, you know, classes aren't going to be so easy. So take advantage of it. Make sure your foundation is good. Now, don't get me wrong, I have one class that I'm struggling in, but that's because due to me changing my major. Like when I first walked in, I was in criminal justice because I knew I wanted to be a lawyer, but then I eventually switched it to political science. And the class that I'm in, like, she's just real nitpicky, and then on top of that, she doesn't give a lot of work. So if you're not doing super good on the work that you're given, then you really don't have, like, you have professors like that. And I'm not really tripping off of it too much because of the stuff that I'm about to get into further down the video. So that may be a class that I may not do the best in. Hopefully I don't fail, but like I said, I'm not really tripping off of it because all the rest of my grades are A's, and I know I'm doing my best. So, you know, that just happened. It was just a L I had to take, but whatever. So what do I like about the school? I like the fact that Fisk is a small school. Like, I'm not really, like, the older I get, the more I realize I'm not really a people person. So it's like, I do enjoy the fact that, like, Fisk gives me the room to, you know, be on my own, not force myself to have to, like, you know, make a whole bunch of friends. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, like, you know, right before high school, most of us realize who our real friends are and who aren't. So, you know, if you really take that into account when you go to college and actually use your head and be smart with the, you know, with the friendships that you build and make, like, you'll realize that, you know, you shouldn't go around looking for friends. Friends will come when they come. So it's just like, me personally, like, I just like that it's quiet and it's not a lot of people, because it makes me feel like I don't have to be involved in so much. Like, I can be in my dorm, be to myself, the same stuff I would do at home. Like, you know, before I was, like, you know, super active with my boyfriend, I wasn't out. Like, I had a couple friends, but, like, you know, besides going out to eat, maybe going to the mall, like, you know, I never had a friend group full of party people. So, like, we were never really in the mix. Like, we would come to each other's house and stuff like that. Like, it would just never be a lot. So, like, coming to college, I wanted to keep that same concept. Like, you know, I'm not really a party girl. So, like, I don't want to go to a school where I feel like if I'm not in the party life, I'm not really enjoying the school, because that's all the school has to offer. So Fisk does a good job with that. They're not really focused on the party side and extra side of college. They're more education focused and geared to me. So yeah, that's what I like, I guess. What I dislike in Fisk is, even though they're not focused towards the party side of college, I feel like they still need to improve as far as the fun in college. Like, college is not all about party, and college is not all about education. College is like the bonds you build, the clubs, the people, like, and I feel like Fisk doesn't really do a good job with that. Like, no shade, I don't want to speak too hard, but I look at, like I explained to my father, I look at a lot of the clubs and the sororities and, you know, the teams, the sport teams, and I just look back and it's just like, to be a HBCU, it doesn't really give this, like, it doesn't give family. And, like, you know, some people may look at it as family because, you know, like, I feel like the more you sit at a school, you have no choice but to make the best out of it. You have no choice but to make friends. But me and how I see it is, I like the nice knit fit before you barely walk in the door. I'm used to going to a school, like, I went to Cardinal Ritter back in St. Louis. Most of my viewers know because you guys are from St. Louis. But I went to Cardinal Ritter, which was like, everybody labels Cardinal Ritter as the high school HBCU. So, you know, we were all cool before we walked the door, not because of middle school, but because we were all involved in sports. Like over the summer, you know, if you play football, cheer, or volleyball, you know, those are all fall sports, and even soccer. Like, was it soccer? Yeah, boys soccer. So, was it boys soccer? Yeah, it's boys soccer. So if you play any of those sports, you were there over the summer. So it's like, you know, we were involved and we were happy to be there. We had, you know, like, we just had love for the sport, the bond in each other. Like, you know, it was never any drama, animosity, like, and it's not like that here, but it's just like you don't feel like the bond, like when you walk through the door. Like, it's just like it's either feeling overforced or it's not there at all. Like, you know, I've talked to people that literally don't even interact with their groups that they're involved with. Like, and it's just like, I feel like to be a part of something, you really have to be a part of something. And that's why I don't join clubs, like at the school. Like, I'm not going to join something that I genuinely don't feel a part of, or I'm not happy to be a part of. Like, so that's what I dislike. Another thing I dislike, because I think I have that stems from another thing, is the updates. Fisk is very, very, very outdated. Very outdated. I'm sorry, it is. And it's like, when I was watching the videos, you know, from previous girls, like, because, you know, there's not a lot of Fisk videos out there. I go to a small HBCU, so YouTube wise, a lot of people aren't, you know, like, giving a video over Fisk. So a lot of the people that I watch, they would say little things like, you know, Fisk is outdated, the dorms, you know, not having an on-campus nurse, like not having on-campus police. It's just like a little security office, like things of that sort. And like, before I went, like, I'm just like, okay, like, they're just complaining about small stuff. Like, you know, I was telling my mom, it's just small stuff, and we both agreed. Like, but when you actually come, you realize these things aren't small. Like, you look at big campuses, like I'm right next to TSU, you look at big campuses, and yeah, they're big, but just because you're big doesn't mean you shouldn't have things that you need to run a school. Then the dorms, like I said, they're very outdated. Like, the paint easily chip off the walls. Like, you can't put nothing on the wall. Like, I literally can show, like, so you see all of this, like, this little stuff, that's for me trying to hang up, like, stuff like that. And it's like, that's sitting on my container, then like, it's not even able to hang up. So it's like stuff like that. Then me and my roommate, like, our dorm is small. I've given a room to her before, but like, it's like, you know, and it's cool, like, every dorm isn't gonna be perfect, like, don't get me wrong, but it's like, as time passes by, you have to update things. Like, you know, like, every school has their downfall. Like I said, don't get me wrong, like, it's HBCUs that are having the same problem as us, but I'm speaking from my personal experience. I'm speaking from the things that I don't like and what I feel like can improve. Like, you know, like, it's just the rooms, like I said, Jubilee needs to be updated. I can see the first floor staying the same because it's a historical building, but people live in this historical building, so, you know, you have to make it livable. You can't just put paint on the walls, plaster it up a little bit, and think that it's livable. Like, it's not. Like, it's mold in rooms, like, stuff like that. Like, people have had to move out, like, during the time where they've already put up all their stuff, and, you know, just little stuff like that. And it's like, you know, like, people, you have to think about these things. Like, people are paying money. They're paying thousands of dollars to be here. So, you know, you have to make it livable. Like, at least make it, you know, up to par, to where people don't feel like, dang, I'm paying like all of this money to have it worse than when I was at home. Like, you know, like, people live better at home and paying less. Like, college is expensive. Like, you know, it's like, it's not something that you could just pull out your butt and be like, oh, I'm going to college. Like, it's more to it. So, you know, that's what I feel about that. Like, you know, they're adding a new dorm as we speak. Like, they're building it, so good for them. Like, I'm proud of that. You know, like, little stuff like that. Our gym doesn't have any air conditioner, like, at all. Like, it looks like a middle school gym. You wouldn't even be able to tell it's a high school. I mean, a college. Like, it's horrible. Like, just look up some videos of our gym. I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. Like, that's why I said, like, if you don't like this, or you feel like this video isn't fitting your cup of tea, just don't watch it, because it's my personal preference, like I said, because I know I'm not tripping, because people that have went here for all 4 years say the same thing. Like, you know, they're about to graduate and they don't even like the gym. So it's like, I'm just speaking from what I've been through and what I see. So that's that on that part. I basically already answered this question. It says, is the workload low hard? The workload is not hard right now, like I said, and that's due to the major that I'm in. I don't even have a math class right now, but I do have a science. So math, I'm going to take math next semester. But I didn't take a math due to it being online, and then I was in like the junior level class, and he spoke a different language, and I'm already bad at math. So you have to know your limitations. Like, I'm not gonna set myself up to fail, you know, especially undergrad, like, you know, your first year undergrad. Like, these are your basic classes. It's like, make it as easy and as as easy as possible. You know, take the classes you need, but take them, take them when you need them, but take them smartly. Like, you know you'll eventually get a math class. Like, you don't want to wait all the way to your senior year to get a math class, but that class wasn't going to be the only math class available. So next semester, I just have to make sure that I move fast enough to get a math class. I don't even mind the math class being online, but I couldn't understand him. He barely does calls. Like, he doesn't do any. That's another thing too. It was online, but he doesn't do video calls. So, like, we're not getting any help. We're just basically doing the math by ourselves, going online. He posts a few videos, but it's not the same. But the workload, like I said, is good. It's not that bad. Like, it's undergrad. So, like I said, really, if you feel like the workload is bad now, you got to ride ahead of you. So it's like, take advantage of this right now. That's just how I feel about it. Do I like living in a dorm? No. No, I don't. Like, it's livable. I can deal with it. Like, I wouldn't knock it, because I feel like everybody should get the experience. Like, if I had to do it over again, I would still live in a dorm, because I feel like, like, it's a part of the college experience. Like, living on campus, feeling how it feels to, be on campus full time. I just feel like that's a part of the college experience, and I feel like you should get the full college experience at some point, paying all your money, are paying a lot of money. So, that's why I don't regret it. But me personally, I won't be doing it again after this time. No, I will not. Because, my roommate's cool and all, like, that's not the issue. But it's like, me, when I was at home, I had my own space. I'm the only child on my mom's side. So, like, I've always had my own room. Then when we got to the house that we're in, for the last years since I've been in high school, I've had the whole upper floor to myself. Like, it's 3 stories in my house, and I've had the higher floor. So it's like, not only did I have my own bedroom, I have 2 closets and a whole nother bedroom on the floor. So it's like, I've always had abundance of space. Then, sharing a room with a person, like I said, you also have to take into account of, like, the things that you like to do. Like, I have a boyfriend, and, like, I don't like to feel like, I have to be on the phone at certain times, or whisper, or, and it's like, I don't stay up super late anyways. Like, my bedtime on my phone is set for 10:30, so, I stay up later than that some days, if I've been, like, laying around all day, so I'm not really tired. But most days, I'm asleep by 10:30, 11 o'clock at the latest, laying down, my head on my pillow. But, through the day, everybody goes to sleep, has different times of nap and when their classes are. So it's like, you have to be aware that when you're sharing a room, you don't want to disrupt the person that's next to you. And like I said, I don't want to be aware of that anymore. Like, that's just how I am. I don't want to be aware of it. I don't care to share a room anymore. I don't care to share a space anymore. Like, I don't want to keep on changing behind the closet, or, like, baby, it's not giving. Like, it's just not. So, you know, like I said, it was a good experience when you had it, but it's not for me. Like, why are you going back home? So, everything that I said before in the video of like the dislikes, and then, like I said, my honest opinion is I'm just not ready to be away. Like, you know, like I went away with the mindset of, like I said, letting other people and what they're doing affect me. And like I said, I hate that about myself, because like it's not like I care about what other people are doing, but of course when you see other people around you and then you're consistently hearing people say things like, don't stay back, like do all, like, you know, like I don't like that. Like, you know, I have literally people, like I come from a city where the city ain't too, it's not like, you know, it's the best, safest city in the world, but it's also not the worst. Like people, but I have illiterate people that come from our city that say things like, we live in a worse city, or we need to get out, and da 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 da. But the same way you feel about your city is the same way that somebody else feels about the next city, and you look at that city as the golden land. So it's like, me personally, I just don't like that mindset. And I feel like being around a whole bunch of people that have that mindset, you know, going to school with people that always be like, you know, if y'all stay back, you know, like basically trying to diss it, like make it seem like, you know, schools in St. Louis aren't, you know, good, or, you know, making it seem like, you know, if you stay back, you're enabling yourself, or you're going to be a bum, or you're not going to be something great. Like, and you eventually, the older you get, you have to realize that you have to do what's good for you and what's fitting for yourself. And being away is just not that. Like, you know, me personally, I know the things that are important to me are that I care about in life. And right now, proving a point and going away is not it. Because then I look at my peers that graduated with me and them going away, and then they're having the same problems that I'm having. But, you know, they were the main people saying that they didn't want to be home. So it's like, sometimes you have to block out what other people have to say, because 9 times out of 10, deep down inside, they probably feel the same way you feel, but they don't want to admit it. Like, you know, we're 18 years old. 19 years old whenever we graduate, whatever the case may be. Well, 18, 17, we should be 17, 18 years old when you graduate. But, you know, like I said, you're 17, 18 years old when you graduate from high school, and, you know, we're still young, we're still kids, and we don't have everything figured out. We don't have the answers to everything. Nobody does, and we dang sure don't. Like, we're still young. So, you know, I'm still dependent on my parents. They still pay my car note. They still pay for my insurance. They pay for my health insurance. They pay my phone bill. They buy the groceries that's in my refrigerator right now. They buy the clothes on my back. And yeah, I might have my little job, and, you know, you may pitch in a little bit, buying your own shoes, buying your own clothes. But those are all wants. Like, those are all things that technically you don't have to have the newest shoes coming out. You don't have to have the newest drip. You don't have to have all that. You can go up the street to Goodwill, and those can be clothes on your back, but they're not. Like, so it's like, I feel like if I'm still so dependent on my parents, you know, and it's a better opportunity for me at home, why not take advantage of it? Like, the school that I'm going to will be 7 minutes away from my house, which is Harrison University. But yeah, like, it wasn't my top choice, and I really wasn't interested in going there. But like I said, I had to realize that a lot of the times when you're not interested in places, it's usually because of what the idea is. Like, people was like, graduation rate at Harris Stowe, or it's at home, or, you know, just like all this little stuff. But people that are talking about the graduation rate, you don't even finish school on time. No diss, because you finished it, but you're talking about the graduation rate at one school, but you're barely making it at the school that you're at, dropping out, failing classes. So what's the point? You're paying tuition at an Ivy League school or HBCU, barely being able to pay for your schooling, but I'm going to a school that's $11K or less a year, and I'm making it, and I'm passing, and I'm finishing school on time. So like I said, you just have to do what's fit for you. Like, so that's why, you know, I'm going home. Like, you know, I have a good job opportunity that I've been having since the end of senior year, and, you know, I still work with the job, like, away from home or whatever, online, but I would like to make more money. like online is not the best because I have homework and stuff, like, you know, and eventually you get tired of looking at the computer. It's totally different working in person. So, you know, yeah, that's basically it. Like, that's why I'm going home. It's just better opportunities. I can stay at home. I don't have to stay on campus, so that's less money right there. I'm thinking about joining the volleyball team. I have one other thing too that, you know, I'm wanting to do, but I don't want to say. Then I'm working on my business, but I need the funds to fund the business. And when I'm away at school, the funds that I'm receiving need to go towards the things that I need to pay for when my parents aren't around. So it's like, it's not really that easy to fund a business. Go home, I can fund my business because I'll be able to work myself, including the money that, you know, my parents help pay for. They're putting food in the house, so I'm eating the food that's put in the house. I'm not having to worry about stocking up my refrigerator when money is given to me. So it's like, you know, everybody's different, everybody's story is different. So like I said, I plan on going to Harris-Stowe, finishing off my undergrad, and then for law school, I hope to attend St. Louis University and just finish off at home. Like I said, SLU is one of the top law schools, so I'm interested in going to that, still sticking it at home. And then if I'm interested in moving, I will move when I have the job opportunity, the money, and the funds, and the mindset to move, but not forcing myself to be off by myself and learn that mindset before I'm actually ready to. So that's my opinion on school. That's my update. Like I said, I'm doing fine. Oh, I skipped over a question. Oh my gosh, this video is gonna be so long, girl. Okay, so last question: how is my mental right now is shaky. I'm gonna answer kind of fast because this video is already 7 minutes, and I know the video before was like 9 or so. But how is my mental? My mental is shaky, like I said. You know, like, it's not bad, it's not terrible, but, you know, I do have my moments where, like, it's not the best. But I also feel like that's just because, like, I have my mind set on one thing and one thing only, and that's just not really wanting to be here. And when you're not really happy somewhere, or when your mind's not letting you be happy, like, you just have your moments. Like, it's not the easiest. I don't really have anybody down here besides, you know, a couple friends at TSU, and, you know, we all have different schedules. We're grown, we are in class, like, you know, so it's not easy to always just go to TSU and hang out with somebody. Like, you know, I have one friend here, you know, but like I said, like, I like my personal space, like, you know, but I like my personal space to be comfortable, and right now my personal space is not comfortable. Is another reason why I'm going home. Like, you shouldn't be unsure when you're away. Like, you know, it's always going to be something negative or something that you're going to have to fight throughout life, no matter where you're at. But the worries that I have right now, I shouldn't have while I'm away. So I know I just need to go back home and take my time and collect myself. So my mental, 50-50. 50-50. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Done with the questions. So, and yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day, and yeah.